My name is Paige Dawson. I'm 31 years old, and 7 days ago, I told my entire family I was no longer their daughter. It started on a Friday night when my father called me home for what he called an urgent family meeting. That alone was strange. My father never used that word unless it involved business. When I arrived, the kitchen table was empty, my parents were sitting across from each other, and something felt off immediately. Then my father said it. My younger sister was in trouble and owed $300,000. Before I could even process the number, he looked at me and said I would be the one to pay it. Not asked, told. And when I hesitated, he made it clear, if I refused, I was no longer part of the family. I didn't argue. I didn't shout. I simply said, then I'm not, picked up my keys, and left. The drive back home was quiet, but something about that exact number kept bothering me. My father doesn't guess numbers, he knows them. That night, I checked my credit report, expecting maybe a mistake tied to my recently denied mortgage application. What I found instead changed everything. My credit score had dropped to 480. There were multiple credit cards I had never opened, a car loan for a vehicle I had never driven, and personal loans totaling hundreds of thousands of dollars, all in my name. Every account was delinquent. Every address tied to them led back to my hometown. It wasn't just debt. By morning, I had confirmed it across all 3 credit bureaus. Over $300,000 had been taken out using my identity over the past 3 years. The mailing address on all accounts had been redirected to a P.O. box I didn't own. Someone had deliberately made sure I would never see a single statement or warning. And then it hit me, the amount matched exactly what my father demanded I pay. He wasn't asking me to help my sister. He was trying to make me accept debt that already existed under my name. My parents hadn't just asked for help, they had stolen my identity. I contacted a lawyer immediately. He confirmed what I already knew, this was identity theft, mail fraud, and financial fraud, serious federal crimes. He told me not to confront them yet, to gather evidence first. But when my father called the next morning, I couldn't ignore it. I asked him directly where the money came from. He didn't deny anything. He simply reframed it, saying they had borrowed and planned to pay it back. My mother later admitted she had signed my name on the documents. Not out of necessity, she said, but to keep the family together. That was the moment everything became clear. This wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a decision they made repeatedly over years. I gave them one chance. 7 days to come clean and work with my lawyer to fix it. Instead, they spent those 7 days manipulating the story, turning relatives against me, and pressuring me to back down. They painted me as selfish, ungrateful, and heartless, without ever telling anyone the truth. By the end of the week, I realized they weren't going to take responsibility. So I did what they never expected, I filed everything. Police reports, fraud claims, credit freezes, federal complaints. I chose my future over their lies. On the 7th day, they all showed up at my door, expecting to pressure me into backing down. Instead, I opened the door and told them the truth. With my lawyer standing beside me, I laid out the evidence piece by piece, the forged signatures, the redirected mail, the accounts opened in my name. The room went silent as the reality set in. Some of them started to understand. Others didn't. But for the first time, the truth was no longer controlled by my father, it was documented, undeniable, and out of his hands. After that day, everything changed. The legal process was slow but steady. Creditors began confirming fraud and removing accounts. My credit slowly recovered. Investigations were launched. My parents faced real consequences for what they had done. My sister lost the lifestyle built on money that was never hers. The family didn't collapse, it shifted. Some people distanced themselves. Others quietly acknowledged the truth. And a few, like my uncle, chose to stand by me. Months later, I was finally able to rebuild what had been taken. My credit improved. I reapplied for the house I had once lost, and this time I was approved. I signed the papers with my own name in my own handwriting, knowing no one else could take that from me again. It wasn't just a house. It was proof that I had taken my life back. I didn't destroy my family. They did that the moment they decided my name was something they could use without asking. All I did was refuse to keep paying for it. And in the end, I didn't lose everything, I got something far more important back. I got my identity, my independence, and the certainty that no matter who stands against me, I will never again stay silent when something is wrong.